Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Uh, should be good. Shalom. Brothers of Great Millstone Charlotte come with another Friday night live lesson to the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. First and foremost, we want to start by giving our praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing this word without truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
And so, as you can see by the title of the lesson, man, we're going into the blessing of sight, you know, because we understand that the majority of the world is moving in darkness, man, right? But we've been blessed to see, meaning to understand, these prophecies, to have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's going to keep us stable in these times, while the rest of the world is going to be stammering in that gross darkness, man. You want to grab that Isaiah? We can start
Come.
with that.
This is Yeshaya, Isaiah, chapter 60. We'll get verse 1. It reads, Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Right. And that it said, Arise, shine, for thy light is come. That light being Yahweh Shai, man. And Yahweh Shai is bringing what? That wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, to the elect first, man. But then ultimately to all of Israel, right? But while we're in this current captivity, only that chosen number is going to receive that light. Is going to receive that eyesight, you know, to be pulled out of darkness, you know. And now we're seeing, there are men who were pulled out of darkness, but then went right back into darkness, which shows you the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, that he can both, give you that light and take it away from you, man. So that's why it's ever more important to pray that the Lord keep His Spirit upon you, man, because you don't want to be caught in that gross darkness, you know. Baba Kushab, could you grab that Matthew 9
Come.
and
This is
26?
9 and 6.
26. Salaki.
Come. This is Matthew chapter 9. We'll get verse 26. It says, In the fame hereof, I'm sorry, verse 25. This is Matthew 9 and 25. It says, But when the people were put forth, he went in and took her by the hand, and the maid arose, and the fame hereof went abroad into all the land. And Yahushua departed thence. Two blind men followed him, crying and saying, Thou son of David, have mercy on us.
And this is the lot that we're in right now, man. Because as you will read down, those men's belief caused them to go after Yahweh Shai, man. Right? And our belief in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is causing us to do what? To cling to him, man. Right? To do everything in our power to stay, in Yahweh Shai's hip pocket, because we know that that's our only way to salvation.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
We'll read down to 30.
It says, verse 28. It says, And when he was come into the house, the blind men came to him. And Yahushua said unto them, Believe ye that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yea, Lord.
Right? He
Then
said, Believe ye that I am able to do this, Salaki.
I'm gonna run it back. So it says, And when he was come into the house, the blind men came to him, and Yahushua said unto them, Believe ye that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yeah, Lord. All right, pretty much, he asked because without faith it's impossible, to please the Lord. You see, it's also impossible for miracles to occur to different individuals. Faith is required. That's why the Lord said, Hey, believe ye that I am able to do this.
Exactly. He was saying, look, do you believe? Right? And that's what we're going through right now. The Lord is like, do you believe? And our belief is pushing us to do these works, man. It's pushing us to be diligent, pushing us to study, pushing us to do all these things that the ministry requires, man. Right? Pushing us to pray, because we know, as I'm gonna grab right here in Sirach chapter 2, and let me see, verse 13. It reads, Woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not therefore shall he not be defended. So belief, faith, is a key, the key component, man, because that faith ties into your fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Right? You understand the judgment of the Lord. You understand the fate of 2/3, and you don't want any parts of that, man, because you believe in what's written in the book. You believe that all these words are going to come to pass. So when Yahweh asked these two men if they believed that he could heal them, that's what the same lot that we're falling into. That we believe that he's coming to destroy this place. We believe that he can heal us, right? We believe that the kingdom is about to be established, man.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much, that's a key component of the gospel. Nachamatam kayah malakot hashemayim korah, repent, yea, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You see, all right, and again, one of the key tenets of that is the belief, the faith. You gotta believe on the gospel. The good tidings, the good news.
Exactly. And what's it say? So like where it talks about how faith without seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Let me get that.
If you can find it.
This is get it real fast. So like this is Ibarium, Hebrews chapter 11.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give verse 1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
Mm-hmm. Because our faith, that's pretty much the point. Our faith, our belief, our sight, isn't something that we see in the physical realm, man. It's a belief in the spiritual, right? It's a belief in the understanding, right? It's a belief that the Lord is going to keep His word, man, right? So just as these two blind men, right, were asked, believe ye that I am able to do this, though they hadn't seen it, right? They believed in what they had heard, and the words that were spoken.
Mm-hmm.
We can keep going in that, Matthew.
Okay. Back to Matthew chapter 9, and we'll get verse 29. It says, then touched he their eyes, saying, according to your faith be it unto you.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and their eyes were open, and Yahushua straightly charged them, saying, see that no man know it.
Right. So him touching, their eyes is equivalent to us, our eyes being open to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Right. So their eyes were open, and he said he charged them to see that no man know it, because not everybody's going to be able to receive it, man. Right. That not everybody has the same faith. It said, according to your faith, be it unto you. So they had to have extreme faith, in order to receive extreme blessings, man. So we have to have, continue to have faith, that confidence in Yahweh Bashim Shai, as these times unfold, man. Right? We already have faith, and we're taken out of the blindness of this world, right? So we gotta have faith that He's gonna keep us in these times, man.
Mm-hmm.
We can grab Ezekiel. Actually, let's grab that Matthew 13 and 16, Bubble Shaw.
This is Matthew chapter 13. You said verse 16. This is Matthew 13 and 16. It says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous.
Right, yeah, let's start up at 9. Select.
This is Matthew chapter 13 verse 9. It says, who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
Right, to them it was not given. Right, to 2/3 it was not given. They remained blind. Right, that sight, wasn't given. They didn't have the faith that He could do this, man. Right, we have the ultimate faith that the Lord can do all these things, man. Right.
Continuing on, it says Matthew 13 and verse 12. It says, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand.
Right. So, we understand that these are all spiritual matters, man. Right. So they can see the physical realm, right? They can hear in the physical realm, but they can't see or hear in the spirit, right? So they're blind, and they have to have that blindness healed, as we read in that Matthew 9th chapter, man. Right. And they have to believe that that blindness can be healed, man. And ultimately that belief is falling in the lots of the elect, man. You know.
Keep going.
God, we'll read down to 17.
Con. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 15, it says, "For this people's heart is waxed." So like, verse 14, "And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Yeshaya, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this
Because
people's
we,
heart,
it's like,
for this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them."
yeah. So it's not for everybody to receive this, man. Right? Everybody wasn't blessed to receive this sight. You know, everybody wasn't blessed to be unblinded. 2/3 of the, they're destined to remain blinded until they get into the kingdom on that go around, man. But in this time right now, it's a blessing for you believers. Those of you who hear these messages and receive them, right, and believe in them ultimately, right. It's a blessing to receive that sight, because that sight is gonna, uh, give you a step ahead, man, a leg up, right, on the competition, pretty much, man. Because the Lord is gonna be able to guide your steps in these times of trouble, man.
Mm-hmm. I had a quick one.
Kind of.
This is Ivarium, Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 2. It says, "For unto us was the gospel preached." Now, the gospel going to the good news, the good tidings. All right. Salvation is coming into the nation of Yashala. First and foremost, the elect. That's a part of the good news. You know. So it says, "For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them." All right, which starts with hearing this word. It's that's the initiation period, to where your eyes are open to this truth, but when your eyes are open to the truth, you have to, believe on the gospel, like the scriptures go into. So it says, "As well as unto them 2/3, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it." You see, so the word is pretty much prospering in the elect, because they have that faith, you know, which is the key component in this walk.
Mhm. Because we see people, they hear this word, people might stumble upon the videos, hundreds and thousands of people walk past the camps every week, right? But they might hear, even some might inquire, right? But that word not being mixed with faith, as you just read, right? It's not going to profit them, man, right? It's just more information going in one ear and out the other, because ultimately the Lord has them blocked, and he has them blinded, you know.
hmm Back to Matthew. Back to Matthew. We gotta go to verse
Um,
17.
Let me see. I got a quick one real quick.
Okay.
This is Colossians chapter 1 and verse 26. It reads, "Even the mystery which has been hid from ages and from generations, but is now made manifest to his saints." Right? So all this understanding, like we're reading the NLT, it says this message was kept secret for centuries and generations past, but now has been revealed unto the Most High's people, right? His chosen, his elect, man. Right? The men you see pushing this word diligently week in, week out, right? Day in, day out. This is who the Lord has given this message to understand. And you believers out there to understand, man, right? Those first fruit spirits, right? So all the believers are gonna believe, but the unbelievers are gonna remain blinded, man. That's why it's an ultimate blessing to have this sight, because you can see the prophecies, you can see the kingdom, right? You can see the judgments, you can see the downfall of our enemies, man. You can see all these things taking place, and it comes through that faith and that belief, in the words of Yahweh Bashem Shai.
hmm Continuing on, it says, verse 17, Matthew 13:17. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear and have not heard them.
Because it wasn't the time yet, right? You know, and we're in the midst of the times of all these prophecies, coming to pass. As the elder apostle Zahar coined the year, the hopeful year, that all the prophecies, come to pass, man. Right? So we're seeing all these things taking place, and we're being blessed with the understanding to know why, these things are happening the way they are. Because we see, people bugging out at all time rates right now, because they don't understand what's happening, right? Whether it be in the financial realm, whether it be in the what's the word, geopolitics, things going on in Iran and Israel, right? Whatever's going on in Russia and Ukraine, and even things over globally, and then the domestic affairs, right? We see people bugging out, the famines, the different plagues and pestilences. We understand why these things are taking place, because we've been given that sight, right? We've been given that foresight and to understand that this is all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. This is the purpose that He's purposed, upon the land. You know,
Mm-hmm.
let's grab 2 Corinthians 4 and start at verse 3.
Okay. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4. And we'll get verse 3. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost,
Mhm.
in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them.
Right. If our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, man. You look up that word lost, it goes into those who are destined for destruction, man. You know, the lost of Israel right now are the 2/3. You know, the blind, right? As it says, in whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, right? Because to be to receive that sight, right, to have that blindness lifted off of you, you have to believe, man, right? But believing not, you've been given over to the spirit of the power of the air, man, right? The spiritual demon Satan, and who is controlling or who has his physical counterpart as Esau Edom, man, right? He's being allowed to blind the masses, man, the vast majority of Israelites, But like it says, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them, because that light is going to do what? Give you that sight, right? Allow you to see, right? Allow you to have your path guided, with that light, man. Have that lamp unto your footsteps, man.
I got a quick one. This is I'm gonna show you Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. All right, those that are not in his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, those that don't have the faith, the understanding of things that's going on, pretty much, they're gonna perish. All right, ultimately, because they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They don't have any hope. That's why, when these things pop off, they're thrown off balance. They're thrown off balance because they don't have anything to rely back to. They don't have their trust in Hamashiach. But I'm gonna keep going. It says, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he, because he can see the light at the end of the tunnel. He has something to look forward to. The elect, they're not going to be deceived, you see, because they got their hope. They got their eyes. They got the vision on Hamashiach. They're being led.
That's right. That's right. It's a lot. I was just checking something real quick.
Okay. I got a quick one. This is the Barium Deuteronomy chapter 28. We'll give verse 28. It says, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. All right, which has pretty much happened to us because we sinned against the Lord. We broke the law, statutes, and commandments. You see, but the only ones that's having their so I'm gonna go back to it, having their blindness. All right, their blindness pretty much cured is the elect. Because that blindness going to spiritual blindness. Because at a certain point we was without the truth. You see, but the Lord is putting back His Spirit into the earth. All right, His Spirit is being bestowed unto the hopeful elect.
That's right. Bible shall grab Ezekiel 12. I think we can probably start verse 1.
This is Ezekiel chapter 12. We'll get verse 1. It says, "The word of the Lord also came unto me, saying, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not, they have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house."
All right, and this is why, Jake is in the state that they're in, right? This is why Jake walks around blinded in utter darkness, man. And that's why we see men getting cast in the darkness, right? Because they're rebellious, man. They follow in the spirit of Cain, right? The spirit of the serpent, the spirit of Esau, right? That rebellious spirit, is back in the earth today, right? And that's what's causing them to be blinded, man, to walk around in that gross darkness, with no guide, without any help, and that's the last thing you want because they can operate like that, when the Lord's judgment isn't fully in the earth, right? But when that that hedge is taken away, the Lord is they're gonna have no cloak for their sins, man, as the scriptures say. Actually, let's get that real quick. This is Salakia. This is the book of John, chapter 15, and verse 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not sinned, or they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin, right? In that light, if the light wasn't presented to them, right, they wouldn't be held responsible. But because the light is being presented, day in and day out, almostly on a hourly basis at this point, man, right? The light of Yahweh Shai is going out. So without that light, going out, they have no they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. That cloak going into a covering, or protection from that judgment, man. So now those who don't receive the light, right? Those who remain blinded, are gonna face the full extent of the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see here. There's another one I wanted to give Matthew. Salakia. Was it Matthew? Salakia.
Con's pretty much, just driving the point home. Without a vision, without a goal. Even when we're talking about if you're working for towards a specific goal, if you don't have something driving you, something that you can see, something that you can obtain, you're not going to reach that particular goal. You're going to just be pretty much in a state of confusion. I got a quick one real fast. This is Ayawab, Job. This is Job chapter Salah. This is Job chapter 10. And let's get verse, let me see, verse 21. Verse 20, it says, "Are not my days few?" It says, "Cease then and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little. Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death," referring to America, Babylon the Great. All right, it says, the land of darkness. All right, that darkness going into obscurity. When you think about obscure, something transparent, obscure, or like opaque, obscurity is like you can't see anything. It's like back when you was in school, they gave you if you like they was like, all right, this is what it looks like when you drunk. That's pretty much what's going on in America, Babylon the Great. People with a whole bunch of spiritual drunk glasses, if you will. But I'm gonna keep going. It says, "Even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death." Death lurks on every corner. Land of confusion. You see, it says, "A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness." You see, because what's upheld here is that darkness, the obscurity. Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly.
But the times we coming up into, that blissfulness, that ignorance is not going to cut it. You see, because the Lord is coming back. And those the scriptures say that He can cut off, roughly paraphrasing, all those that offend, and the ones that's going to be offending is the ones that's in that obscure darkness. You see, the ones without the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Hmm. Exactly. I got a quick preset.
Huh.
This is the book of First John, chapter 2 and verse 20. It reads, "But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things." Now, you go into that unction, it goes into a oil, man, right? So you have the oil, which is used to light the lamps, man, right? And the lamps provide that light, to get us out of the darkness. You
Mhm.
also go into that word further. It goes into the eyes of an owl, man, right? Because they have an oil in their eyes that allows them to see in the night. So this is what we've been given. This is the blessing that we've been given, is that sight, because we're going to be in the darkest times known to man, right? So when we need it, the Lord is going to have us, be able to maneuver through these times, just as an owl would move through the night, right? Or just as a man with a lamp, right? Going to the parable of the virgins, right? Those men who had their lamps, and those men who didn't take the oil for their lamps, man. You know, so you have that oil, you have that unction. You know,
I had a quick one.
kind of.
This is Mashal, Proverbs chapter 4. We'll get verse 18. It says, "But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day." You see, and that's because the elect is abiding in that rock. You see, the Lord is revealing more and more. You see, because they're abiding in that light. You see, so it says, "But the path of the just is the shining light, and that shineth more and more unto the perfect day." Verse 19, "The way of the wicked is as darkness; they know not at what they stumble." You see, because going back to pursuing back to Mashalia, Proverbs 29 and verse 18, where there is no vision that people perish. You see, because if you're not able to see the obstacles, all right, and the things that's in your path, you're gonna stumble. You can be caught up in these various different adversities that's gonna come up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Could you grab Matthew 25, and we'll read down to 12.
This is Matthew chapter. You said 25.
Okay. The
This is,
wise
Matt,
and foolish virgins.
this is Matthew 25, and we'll get verse 23. And it says, "His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make."
Starting 1. We'll read 1 through 12.
Oh, Matthew 25 and 1.
Okay.
Oh, Slot. This is Matthew 25 1. It says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom."
Right now, you take a lamp. We've all been given these lamps, but we have to receive that oil, right? Those who believe, are being given that oil, but those who don't believe, are going to other places to get so-called oil. They won't have the light for those lamps, man, because you need a lamp to move through the darkness, man.
Mm-hmm. Continuing on. It says, "And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
Mhm.
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
Yep,
While the
but the
bridegroom."
wise took the oil. The wise got have that unction, right? The wise took the oil so that what they could see, when it was time to have their lamps in the darkness, man.
Okay. So Matthew 25 and verse 5, it says, "While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him."
Right. So at the darkest time, right, midnight. We're entering midnight in Babylon the Great, man. We're entering the darkest time, knowing the man, and it's important that we have that oil. So it's more and more important now, to believe, man, to pray for more faith, more confidence, in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Because through that faith, you will be able to have that oil, man.
Mm-hmm. Verse uh, verse 7, it says, "Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered and said, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves."
Right. And it's gonna be a time, where you can't go and get that oil, which is what, as we're reading, the famine of the word, you're not going to be able to receive these messages, right? You have to take heed while the message is going out, right? To receive that light in the darkness, right? To receive that sight, in the midst of blindness, right? You have to take heed, while the time is not.
Can I keep going?
That's pretty much the point.
Can I get one?
Kind of go ahead, go ahead.
Could you get James chapter 1 and start at verse 21? Uncle Shaw?
It's the book of James, chapter 1, and verse 21. It reads, "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls."
Mm-hmm. So pretty much, put off the ways of the world. Put off that gross darkness. The ways of the ways of those that don't have the vision. Walk. The scriptures say, "Walk worthy of the convocation of which you have been called." Act like you got the light.
hmm
You continue on.
But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. Don't be like the ones that that sounds nice. You have to actually apply the things that are written in the teachings that are in the scriptures. You see,
Right.
because if not, then that's pretty much going into a hypocrite.
God. Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
hmm
For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
So he goeth his way immediately and forget that he still had to keep working. He still had to keep doing things in the ministry, all right, which can be likened as well to those foolish virgins. You know,
Okay. Keep going.
Con.
Verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, it's like this verse 25. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of
Mhm.
liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed.
So this man should be blessed in his deed. The one that keeps moving, the one that uses that oil wisely. All right. Could you go into the word for liberty, Baba Kushah?
God, pull it up. James 1:25. Okay. So this is the word for liberty. It's Strong's G 1657. It says liberty to do or omit things having no relationship to salvation.
Mm.
Fancied liberty, license, the liberty to do as one pleases.
So
True.
that
Okay,
was
go ahead.
pretty much the point. The first one that you got, Salah. It says to do or to omit the things that pertain to salvation. So the things that pertain to salvation, you're going to do those things. The ones that do not pertain to salvation, that's going to be detrimental to your walk. You omitting those things because the scriptures say that if your right hand causes you to offend, you got to cut it off. You see.
Uh,
So the ones that spent up their oil, the foolish virgins, they can be likened to the ones that misuse this grace period, because going back to that word liberty, it pretty much goes into omitting and then adding the things that, or keep doing the things that pertain to salvation, which they're not going to use their time wisely. They're not going to use this grace, this liberty we've been given wisely, you know.
that's right. And when that oil runs out, what happens? That light goes out, and when that
Mm-hmm.
light goes out, it's over, man. There's no vision, right? You can't see. And as the brother had brought out earlier, where there's no vision, the people perish, man. So you need, that direction. You need that order. You need that guide, in order to traverse, throughout the perilous times that we're about to enter into, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let me see. Baba Kushak, could you grab Romans 11 and verse 8? And we'll
Mm-hmm.
read it through 10.
This is Romans chapter 11, and we'll get verse 8. It reads, according as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back always.
So, like, can you start up at 7?
This is Romans 11 and 7. It says, what then Yasha Allah hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Right? The election have been given the sight, and the rest were blinded, man. The election have been given that ultimate blessing to see, and the rest were blinded and left in the darkness, right? Left to their own devices, right? And you read in the Wisdom of Solomon, it talks about how a man left to his own devices. It was actually, let me just grab it. I don't want to misquote it. This is
Kind of scripture. The scriptures say also, through much idleness, that's like the saying in the world, idleness is the devil's playground. You see, so also the scriptures say a child left unto himself will become willful. All these precepts pretty much go into the same thing. You got to be rooted and active and occupied in the correct things. All right, there's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and sincerity.
exactly. It's a lot. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. It's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 10. It reads, I'll start at 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. So as we read in Romans 11 and 7, right? The elect, are going to receive that sight, but the rest are going to be blinded. This is what's going to happen to them. It reads verse 10. But the ungodly, right? The rest, you know, the rest, the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, So they're going to be punished according to their own imaginations because the Lord, is giving them over to their own imaginations, man. It says, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. And that's what 2/3 have done, man. They've neglected the righteous, they've forsaken the Lord, right? They've casted this word behind them, you know. They've left that oil, right? They've gone into the darkness with no oil in their lamps. So when they realize that they need that light, they're gonna have nothing to fall back on, man. They're gonna have nothing to go back to.
Mm-hmm. What's that? What's that precept in Luke? Came with no garment.
Oh, kind of the wedding feast.
Mm-hmm. Is it 22? Luke 22.
Let me see. Um,
Because pretty much, those is not coming in the correct spirit, the correct doctrine, they're going to be destroyed, like the scriptures go into. Because the Lord says, friend, how comest thou with no garment? Which the garment goes into again, put on this truth as the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and truth and the sincerity, in its totality.
mm-hmm. Uh, no, I can't find it.
It's all good. The one, and I think it's Zechariah says, all those clothed in strange apparel.
Let's see. All those clothes.
Bear with us.
Is that Zephaniah? I think it is.
Con. Zephaniah. You know what chapter it is?
1. It says 1 and 8. Let me see. This is the right one.
Okay. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as are clothed with strange apparel." Hey, so if you don't have this glorious robe on, you'll be destroyed. Because um, you're in that gross darkness. All right, you'll even have some of the circumcision. All right, that's coming in the incorrect spirit that's clothed in that strange apparel. All right, you see, those are the ones that pretty much represent the ones that came to the feast with no garment. The Lord said, bind them hand and foot, and throw them to utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You see, that we don't want that. The scripture also say, "Get away from me, I never knew you." Those are the worst words, that you want to hear.
Exactly. Exactly. Baba Kushai, we can grab Daniel 12 and verse 9. Just laying back and off what you were saying.
God. This is Daniel Allah, chapter 12. Let's get verse 1 or verse 9. It says, "And he said, Go thou." Hold on, he said 12 and 9.
Come.
This is Daniel Allah, Daniel chapter 12 and verse 9. It says, "He said, Go thy way, Daniel Allah, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand."
Right. It said, many shall be purified and made white. Have those white robes on, man. Those pure garments, right? Be white and tried, and tested, made pure. And what it say? The wicked shall do wickedly, right? So the wicked are going to maintain their wickedness, man. The wicked are going to continue on in their blindness, right? It says, but none of the wicked shall understand. So none of the wicked are going to receive that sight. None of the wicked are going to receive that wisdom. None of the wicked are going to receive that understanding, man. But the wise shall understand. Going into the elect, man. The elect are going to receive this understanding, and ultimately that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is going to keep us stable in these times of trouble, man.
Mm-hmm. I got one.
God.
This is this is Revelation chapter 11. We'll get verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein," chiefly going to the elect on this side. All right, this truth is for the elect on this side. And then 2/3, they be born back in the kingdom, you see, but chiefly the elect. Verse 2. "But the court which is without the temple leave out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 40 and 2 months." You see, so on this side, the Lord isn't dealing with 2/3. They're going to be destroyed. You see, going back to how the wicked is going to do wickedly. That 2/3 not going to abide in this truth. On this side.
Exactly. Um, that was pretty much all I had, man. Just going into the blessing that we have to be able to see, these things coming to pass, right? But the election have obtained it, right? Lord willing, we be of that elect number, but the rest were blinded. We've been blessed to have that blindness removed from us, man. And we want to continue, in that lot, of being able to see, right? Being able to teach, being able to understand, right? So we want to continue in that lot and not to be in the lot of those, who turned away and were blinded by the world, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else?
Uh, no, that's pretty much it. I don't got nothing else.
Con. Hey, so we pray that lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We want to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hope for the elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom, and Kwame Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.